Texans training camp, day number 3. We're going to continue to do our series of big deal or no big deal about things that have been observed there. Because unfortunately, they're holding these practices at a time that I can't even go to watch them. But we're continuing to see Davis Mills and CJ Stroud alternate their reps with the first team unit. Some interesting things said today. Davis Mills, is this a big deal or no big deal? Davis Mills on how DeMeco Ryans and Bobby Slowik talked to him and CJ Stroud about their position battle. There's competition at all 22 positions. Is it a big deal that there's a competition at all 22 positions? This is what they're going to continue to do when it comes to the quarterback competition. They are just going to try their hardest to make it seem like it's not a big deal at all. And you know what? Maybe that'll take some pressure off of the two of them. I am still of the belief that it's not the best idea to continue to have these guys alternating drills with the first team unit and the second team unit, unless you're going to do some sort of platoon quarterback system, which never works.
The Mills cat?
Oh, my God.
May I interest you in the Mills cat, sir?
No, you may not interest me in the Mills cat, Sean. Never, ever say that again. You just put the effing quarterback under center and never put anybody else there. This city saw the Watt cat in that playoff game against the Chiefs. Never again.
The greatest player in franchise history.
Never again.
Didn't work. But it worked for Ronnie Brown and the Miami Dolphins
Against
in 2008.
The Patriots, it did.
So
it has worked before, but it's a fad that's out of style. It's Jinko jeans. Let's leave it in the past and remember it for what it was. We didn't need a Driscoll cat here last year, although things were actually that bad. The Driscoll cat, I didn't mind because of what a joke last season was. But the Mills cat held to the effing no, Sean Mapes, behind the glass. Okay, what else have we seen at Houston Texans training camp today? Deal? Big deal or no big deal? This one has to do with the Houston Texans playbook. Dameon Pierce says Bobby Slowik's playbook is dense. This is per Brooks Cabina of the Houston Chronicle. It's like the Bible, long, broken into different sections. They all tie together. Is that a deal, a big deal, or no big deal? Sean, why are you laughing?
No, it's a great quote from Dameon Pierce.
It's like the Bible.
It's like the Bible.
Does Dameon Pierce read the Bible? Or is Dameon Pierce someone who's going to be like, I want the Cliff Notes edition of this reading?
I think it's a big deal. I think it's a positive because, like we know, atheists...
Whoa. We're calling out infidels right now?
No, being an atheist ruined Arian Foster's career, famously.
Wow.
And Dameon Pierce, he reads the Bible. Both Bobby Slowik's and God's.
Sean, that's a callback to earlier this week where someone actually commented that being an atheist ruined Arian Foster's career. I think vegan is more likely a correct answer on that front.
You'd say veganism 1, atheism 2 on what ruined Arian Foster's career?
I'd say veganism 1. Yes.
Yeah, and then atheism.
Eat your meat, okay? But to go back to this, big deal or no big deal? Dameon Pierce saying the playbook is dense. I think it is a big deal in a bad way. Simple. Keep things simple, guys. If you want a guy to come into the league and from the get-go know what he's doing confidently, you got to simplify it. And I think this is one of the tricky things that happens with coaches when they come into a new system. Some of these guys, they think too hard. And one of the things that you know about Kyle Shanahan's offense is that it's really good at running the same play out of different looks. The looks always change, but the play will continue to be the same. And if it's a continuation of that, and that's why the playbook is so big, great. But if it's not, then we're trending back into Bill O'Brien territory, where at times that offense seemed a little bit too complicated for everybody. And I think that might have been just a byproduct of the people who have worked with my Lord and Savior, Tom Brady, who has such a massive brain. Brady was able to make that Patriots offense work. And whenever people tried to do it elsewhere, it didn't. Receivers would have a tough time picking it up. Coaches would have a tough time teaching it. Other quarterbacks would have a tough time knowing the whole damn thing. There are savant minds in the NFL. Peyton Manning was also one of those. It's not to say that there's not the possibility for CJ Stroud to be that guy. I'm just saying when these guys come into the league, make it simple. I don't like hearing that this is like the Bible. I don't. Big deal or no big deal. Here's what Tytus Howard had to say during his press conference today after his contract extension with the Texans was announced. We've got the right coaching, the right people around us. Stay tuned. Tytus Howard has been very overtly positive about the Texans over the course of the last couple of months. I like hearing it. I feel like it's good to have guys on the roster that are constantly preaching sunshine, even if it's unrealistic. But I don't think it's a big deal that he's saying something like this, you know? This is the kind of tweet that like the fanboy accounts put out there and it just gets a bleep ton of retweets. But I think right now there's like not enough people that are actually excited about the Texans for that to make it move for anybody.
Yeah, I also, if I just got paid, I'd have a lot of great things to say. You know, I'd be like, yeah, things are awesome. They just decided to pay me.
This is the greatest place in the world.
Because they're giving me, $40 million guaranteed.
Big deal or no big deal? DeMeco Ryans said this about Dameon Pierce. For us to be good on offense, we need to have Damian Pierce on his A game. It's a big deal from the perspective of, like, yeah, because they have no receivers. And we'll see. I guess Noah Brown and Tank Dell have been impressive out there. There's a lot of receivers who have been around the league for a while, but none of them really are jumping out. It does feel like Dalton Schultz has a very good chance to be the leading receiver on this team next season, and that's not even because Dalton Schultz is so much better than everybody. You just sort of look at everybody, and you're wondering who's going to have more than 30 to 40 catches, just with the way things are. You could point to Nico Collins if you really want to, but even that feels like a bit of a stretch. This is an obvious statement that DeMeco made. Yeah, Pierce is going to have to play well. He's going to have to stay healthy, and they're going to have to find a way to keep him healthy. And that might be tricky, so Devin Singletary is also going to have to shoulder a lot of the load.
Yeah, I mean, when you're running the Shanahan offense, you're obviously going to be – the run's going to set things up, and it's especially going to set things up when, like you said, it's just Jag Central with the wide receivers. Yeah. There's guys that are NFL receivers. You cannot – like, they are all NFL caliber receivers. It's just on most teams – they're like 3s and 4s. And on this team, they're going to be 1s and 2s.
Right. So that definitely could be an issue, especially for a young quarterback. The good thing is they've got like $170 million just from this offseason invested into the offensive line. Hopefully that means the offensive line will be good. Good to hear that Kenyon Green was once again out there with the first team unit.